before we get into any of the topics today and I discuss what I'm going to be talking about, I want you guys to please subscribe to the channel on my YouTube. It's What's Packin' Sports Show. You got to type the whole thing in, because if you just type in What's Packin', some RuPaul drag race, what you packing, or some shit is going to pop up. So please type in What's Packin' Sports Show. I should be the only What's Packin' Sports Show. Subscribe, thumbs up all my videos, because all of my videos are good, bro. If you haven't watched them yet, they're good. They're all good. I put a lot of time and energy into making these cool graphics and trying to give you something visually appealing, at the same time something that is informative. Let's just get into the show, man. First topic of the day, Aaron Jones. If you haven't heard, he's in the 4th year of his deal, which means since he wasn't drafted in the first round, there is no more deal after this year. He will be a free agent, unrestricted, to do whatever he wants to do, to go wherever he wants to go, and to try to make as much money as he can. And look, I think this dude, talent-wise, is a top 7, maybe top 5 running back in the NFL. Obviously, Alvin Kamara, for my money, is probably one. Then I would say, because he's so versatile, right? Alvin Kamara, he's got the best balance I've ever seen from a running back, which is very important. He has excellent vision. He has game-breaking speed. He's a physical runner. He can also catch passes. He can catch 70 passes out of the backfield and get you another handful of touchdowns that way. So he really can do everything. He got big money, and he deserves to be one of the top highest paid running backs in the league. I would say Derrick Henry is my second graded or second best running back in the NFL. He's clearly like the most physical. He's clearly the most old school runner, but he can't really give you the same stuff that a Kamara or a Cook or even a Aaron Jones or a Christian McCaffrey. He's not really a guy that they use in the passing game, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him focusing, squarely on running the ball. He does it so well. He has a shot at 2,000 yards this year. If he can average 170 yards, I think, over the last 4 games now, 3 games in the season, and he got 215 last week. So he's ahead of schedule. And oh, by the way, the Green Bay Packers, they suck at stopping the run. I think Aaron Jones, for what he showed he's able to do last year, having 19 total touchdowns on the year, over 1,200 yards. He had like 1,100 yards rushing. Then he had like another 400 yards. He had like 1,500 total yards on the season. I mean, he really showed he's a weapon. He's got game-breaking speed. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's improving as a blocker, which makes him more valuable in all 3 downs, all 3 phases of the game. So I feel like he definitely could be in that 4-5, 3-4-5 category. And it looks like, after what I heard last night on Twitter, Aaron Jones is looking to get paid. He's looking to get big dollars because he fired his agent that he's had since he got into the NFL, and he is now signed with Drew Rosenhaus, who is famous for working with high-profile level players, especially at the skill position, running backs and wide receivers, cornerbacks, positions where guys are looking to cash in because they know the value that they present as an asset to a team. And Aaron Jones, I think he is very valuable on the field. And because he is now signed with Drew Rosenhaus, I feel like that is a signal. That is like a very passive-aggressive signal to the Packers, into the league, saying, look, I am looking to get paid. The Packers have been adapting this slogan, I love gold. He's looking for his weight in gold. And I think he weighs like 210 pounds. I don't know how much worth that is in gold, but I would have to imagine 210 pounds of gold is worth a lot of money. To me, it seems like the Packers themselves already understood that this guy was going to be too expensive for them. Last year, like I say, Aaron Jones burst onto the scene in his 3rd year recording 19 total touchdowns, which was tied for the league lead with one Christian McCaffrey, who had since become the highest paid running back in NFL history. He had 1,500 yards from scrimmage, and he had 170 total less touches than Christian McCaffrey, and was still able to produce on par with a Christian McCaffrey. So let me tell you, that means that if I believe if Aaron Jones had maybe had another 100 carries and another 70 targets in the passing game, he could have produced the kind of season that people would look at him and say, damn, he's the best running back in the NFL. Maybe he would have been an all-pro like Christian McCaffrey was an all-pro. I see someone else has joined the stream. As much as I love Aaron Jones, I don't think you should pay a running back top dollars. Like, honestly, it's too... Now, yes, I mean, unless you think you have an all-time great. And as much as like I said, I think Aaron Jones is a weapon. I think, honestly, if the Packers would feature him more as the centerpiece of their offense, I do think Aaron Jones could put up all-pro numbers. I do think Aaron Jones could, down the last half of his career, the last 5-6 years of his career, if he can stay healthy, knock on wood, I hope he does, I think he could put himself into a conversation of one of the best running backs of this generation, of his class, and who knows where you go from there. I mean, look at what the San Francisco 49ers, look who, they have a triple-headed monster in San Francisco. Mostert, Breida, and there's one other guy. And it's like, I don't know these guys. I don't know where they played college ball. I'm not the biggest college aficionado, but I do follow the college game close enough, and the Power 5 conferences. So if there's a guy usually from one of those conferences that's making noise, I've probably heard of him, or his name would ring a bell, or I've seen them play. And I don't remember any of these dudes that San Francisco had on their team last year, and they were one of the best rushing teams in the league, and they ran for 270 yards against the Packers. So you don't need a Adrian Peterson in order to get production out of your running back position. Adrian Peterson is a Hall of Famer. That's great. And yeah, I would have paid him. But there's not a lot of guys that I would pay, because there's not a lot of guys I think can be Hall of Famers. And I think that the Packers have already prepared for this, because after he had his breakout year last year, he put the league on notice. And I feel like they realized, like, hey, this dude is talented, and when his contract is up, he's going to want money. And they don't like to pay running backs, okay? They really only like to pay quarterbacks and, linemen, the big guys. They really value the big guys up front. And I guess you could say they don't even really like to pay cornerbacks. They don't even really pay their cornerbacks, honestly. They let Micah Hyde and Casey Hayward walk in free agency because they didn't want to pay them. And those dudes are now been all-pro guys for the Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. And they drafted those dudes and they developed them, and they didn't even pay them. So the Packers have been really stingy with their money. And maybe it's because they don't have a billionaire owner like Jerry Jones, who can just sign checks to everybody. They have to be more frugal with their dollars. But I feel like the Packers this year, they have sort of phased Aaron Jones out of the offense, if you ask me. Now, if you look at it with your football eyes, you can say, well, they're trying to save his body and keep him fresh for the playoff push, and they like the running back by committee, and it keeps teams guessing at what they might be doing, and they like having two guys who can be effective in the running game. That's true, but at the same time, I think that's bullshit. Like, it smells a little fishy to me. To me, I feel like that is true, but the other side to that truth, the other side to that coin, is that they almost trying to devalue Aaron Jones and say, yeah, he had great numbers last year in 2019 when Aaron Rodgers' numbers were down, and we were more focused on the run, And to this point, that season is sort of an outlier because his first 2 years with McCarthy, he was hurt a little bit, and McCarthy wasn't really using him as the feature guy either. He was doing kind of a running back by committee. And like I said, the guy he had struggled with some injuries. So McCarthy was sort of taking it easy on him, quote unquote. And I do feel like I don't mind having multiple running backs, but I do think you have to have a guy who gets the ball 80% of the time. And when you have a guy like Aaron Jones, he needs the ball 80% of the time to be most effective, because I feel like he's like a lather running back. Give him a little bit of carries in the beginning, and then start kind of rubbing those carries together. Add a little bit of passes in there. And then he starts to lather up, and then he starts to build, and then he breaks a 70-yarder, and then he breaks a 50-yarder, or he might catch a pass and break that, and then now he's got 200, 150, 200 yards on the day and a couple touchdowns. I think that's the kind of guy he is. And when they take him out for Jamal Williams, I feel like it really hurts Aaron Jones. When they kind of split these carries almost evenly sometimes, I think it really hurts his production. And I feel like they could be doing that on purpose to say, like, yeah, he had that 1 year, but the first 2 years he wasn't really that productive. And look, last year, or 2020 year, look, his numbers dipped all the way back down. He didn't have anywhere near the production as he did in his breakout year, and that will help them at the negotiation table. So I think the Packers know what they're doing. It makes sense football-wise to save his body so he can be healthy down the stretch for the playoff push. And I don't question that motive, but I think it also makes sense money-wise, and it helps their negotiation leverage to say, look, he only had this production 1 year. The other 3 years of his career, he didn't really produce at a top 5, top 10 level, so we're not going to pay him top 5, top 10 money, which is also shrewd but smart. This was the next shoe to drop, as they say, and I think this is a harbinger of Aaron Jones is not most likely going to be a Packer next year. Now, I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But if it comes down to overpaying him, and then that contract then makes it difficult for Green Bay to then pay some of the other people they need, I would rather them let him walk. And because I think he deserves to get top dollar because he's that good. That's my thoughts on the Aaron Jones contract situation. I want to know what you think in the comments. Get at me on Twitter. What's Packin? No apostrophes, because you can't put the apostrophes in Twitter. And let me know. Yeah, I agree. Let me know, though, what you think about the Aaron Jones thing. What do you think about him signing Drew Rosenhaus as his agent, who's notorious for getting guys paid. Okay, I'm not even stoned. I'm talking sports, though. And tell me what you guys think is going to happen with the Aaron Jones situation. And would you pay him? Do you think he's worth it? Or would you let him walk if he asks for too much money?